Hey guys, it's the Crypto Deal here and welcome back to a new video. Today we have episode 2 of what's in my bags. So it's been about a month or so since the first one, and I've added a bunch of new things to my altcoin bags. So I'm going to go through them a little bit and give you a bit of insight into how I've been thinking about the market and what I'm hoping for the next couple of months. Now, the first and main thing in my bags is counterparty. You might remember last episode I talked about how it was one of my biggest bags and I was really hoping for good things in the future. Well, since then there's been a huge amount of price action, and believe it or not, the market cap is actually lower in dollars than it was last time I spoke to you about it, although it's up nearly about a double since then. And at one point, if you look, it's actually up about a 4x from when I first said about it. So it's been really fun to sell high and buy low when I could. And actually my bags ended up bigger than it was originally without putting any extra money into it. As I said before, there's a lot of platforms being built on it, especially games. Now there's quite a few SIPs planning release fairly soon. I've put a few of them on the screen that you can read if you want to pause it or whatever. Although obviously there's no specific release date yet, but the updates are definitely worth looking out for because hopefully it might trigger a bit of price action again. The next coin on the list is Ethereum Classic. Now recently they've announced that there's going to be an airdrop for everyone who holds Ethereum Classic, and that's triggered quite a lot of price activity. I have an entry price of around 270,000 satoshis, but I'm actually going to end up selling it I think before the airdrop, because airdrop hype is never really that sustainable. Just take a look at NXT for example. The price made huge gains and then dumped 75% in the space of about an hour after it, and the tokens that people received, you know, they never amounted to the money they could have made if they sold before. So what I'm going to do hopefully is sell near the peak, and then I'm also going to watch the new token market and see if I can get quite a low entry as well. I'm planning to probably rebuy Ethereum Classic after that at some point when it's calmed down a little, so it might be worth jumping in for the quick trade, or if you really want the airdrop coins then it might be worth buying and holding for a while. The next on my list is Ubiq. Ubiq's a pretty interesting coin and I've been following it and trading it since the Jumbucks days. This year I think that there's a good chance it could go make a challenge for $1 billion market cap, as is a pretty solid Ethereum competitor and has a range of valuable tokens already on its network. The main two reasons why I've bought into this is I think that Ethereum Classics traders right now might look for something similar that's in their mind undervalued. So I think when the hype dies down, you know, the price might start to go up a little. And also we've bounced a little and held this position on the green cloud pretty well. There's not been a green cloud of that kind of size since here, which was just before the price went off to 90,000 satoshis. So you know, I'm not, you know, we could be in for a lot bigger journey, but you know, I'll be very happy with a 2 or 3x from here. But yeah, it's definitely one to watch and see what's going on. It's a bag that I'm pretty confident and happy to hold for at least the next like 6 months. The fourth coin on my list is Elastic. Currently it's a pretty small market cap. Basically it's a decentralized supercomputer in which people can hire power from the network with the coins. It's still in the earlier days of development, and it's pretty cheap compared to other competitors such as Sonum and Golem, but actually I think it's probably one of my riskiest bags because development seems pretty slow and releases seem quite far off. If you don't know the backstory about Elastic, basically a few years ago there was a big crowdfund ICO and the original developers ran off with all the money, and then a bunch of volunteers took the project on to complete the release and get the coin functional. These days, you know, it's still run by volunteers. I don't think they have as much resources as other teams, which is probably why a lot of development and activity seems quite slow. But for me, it was a great entry on the chart. I have an average of about 3,200 Satoshis. We've kind of bottomed out here and started to calm down. I'm hoping in the next month or two that we can potentially turn this into an uptrend. But you know, it's still early days and people might look at the fundamental side and be a little deterred. My fifth and final bag right now is PDC. Project Quorum's been around for a long time. Initially it was like an ICO on the Made network and it raised about $1 million. Currently it's a $5 million market cap, which makes it one of the smallest on Bittrex. It's a pretty small bag of mine. I have an average entry of about 1,300 Satoshis, and it's kind of like a moon or doom bag for me. Like, I'm happy to hold it forever until it moons, you know. Made and its surrounding tokens have been pretty inactive and quiet the last wee while in price and also like development. So I'm kind of hoping that at some point either just market cycle or some sort of releases will be made. But a lot of these projects, they're kind of overshadowed these days by a lot of the new Ethereum token ICOs and stuff, which, you know, it's kind of the way that cryptocurrency works right now, where the new projects get hyped a lot. Although Made and Project Quorum and other similar projects have had working products, which there are companies and projects launching ICOs to do similar projects. You know, it's a bit of an odd one in that sense. That's about it for today. I hope you found it kind of interesting to see what I've been holding and trading a little over the last month or so, because Bitcoin and a lot of things have been really heavily traded recently, and there's been a lot of dumps, and you know, Bitcoin was at $6,000 at one point, so it's been a bit of a tense time. But typically January's always been a tough month, so roll on March when it's typically like a big altcoin time. If you could like and subscribe, that would be fantastic. If you want to see what I'm up to most days, then you should follow me on Twitter. Yeah, that's about it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.